Hello everyone, this is Mark from Consequence. We're going to be going over the third boss here, Sikran, pure single target. Just as a caveat, this is not me, I don't record anymore, this is another hunter in the guild, so give him the credit for the VOD. But we're going to talk about the strategy on Heroic and Mythic. They're very similar. Positioning in Mythic is a little different, but we're going to talk about that. So let's go to the spreadsheet. So again, this spreadsheet, it just lists the mechanics. It's not public, you can make this yourself. But the boss doesn't really have a lot of things. There's going to be 100 energy sweep. The boss is going to jump the people and drop shadows of itself. The boss is going to do like hungering destroyer lines to break the shadows, which is really important. And then there's like other small things like dodge circles. So very, very patchwork type of fight. So the big takeaway here is the tempos of Heroic and Mythic are different, and I want to talk about this before I go into the video. So the Heroic tempo is going to go Charge, which is Phase Blades. I should really make this Phase Blades, but it's fine. So it's going to be Charge, Decimate, Charge, Decimate, Charge, AoE. Mythic, it's Charge, Decimate. Charge, Decimate, Charge, Decimate, AoE. And in Mythic, we get blow up 8 and then 4, then you'll see that in the video. In Heroic, you're just blowing them up every single time. So to kind of go through the video here, you're going to see this is Mythic. So our Mythic strat was really make a box and then move and make these huge lines. But the same thing actually applies to Heroic as well. So this raid plan is correct, at least for this phase. So you can see here that the idea here is you have a box. So if you did like Mythic Mythic Siren Nathrius with Remornia, all you had to do is make a box. If you did that, the boss would never hit you. And you can see here that's what we did. So you go back, they're trying to figure out a box. This is private aura'd. So they make a box and then they go. One of the Mythic mechanics is if you are standing on top of someone, with this as well, it's going to cleave and blow up. The other mechanic is if the boss hits you, it's going to spawn an extra add. So what you're going to see is you're going to see the main group on the left foot, and then anyone who gets this mechanic is going to go to the right of the group. So you can see here that everyone's here on the left. Some of the range are trying to pre-position, which is fine, and they're going to wait for these lines, and they're going to make a box. Now this is Mythic, so you can see here that we're trying to put down markers for an hour of the test, and the goal here is to make these huge lines because we need to blow up 8 at once in Mythic. In Heroic, what's going to happen is you're going to drop 4, and then the decimates or the lines are going to happen to break them. But you see here that I'm trying to ping, and the goal is, and we're dropping markers, is to make these huge lines, and you can see this up here, these arrows. These are people that are going to shoot lines out of them that are going to break the ads. So we're going to group up, they shoot lines out of them, we're going to break the ads. One was missed, which is okay. So that amount of ads we break is going to determine the raid damage. So you can see here we have a link and an APT down just to negate the damage. Now again here we're going to make a box and we're going to move this way. So, this way. So what we're doing here is we're doing the same concept where we want to make the box, and then you can see here that he's going to do a charge and then decimate, and then he's going to do his AoE. So this is the last set. We're going to barrier, he did his AoE, and he's going to kill that one ad we missed. So one thing to note is that the Mythic mechanic, the other Mythic mechanic is if you have ads up and he does his like 100 energy sweep, it's going to just do a tremendous amount of damage to you. It was 100% bugged in testing. A lot of guilds killed this boss by just not breaking any of the ads, out healing it, and then having the sweep kill them all. And it was bugged, so it wasn't one-shotting you. I'm pretty sure you can live 1. So like here we lived 1, but we actually did it mostly properly where we killed everything. So if you look at other VODs, they might just leave them all up, which is not correct. So now what's going to happen here, you can see the sweep. This is what we do. And he's going to do that AoE damage. And this is the damage of one. But again, there was a bug where if you left a bunch up, I think it just like didn't do extra damage, so it would do this to you every time. But it does a ton of damage. You need to run out using DR. He does like a AoE around him, so you can see that all the melee ran away. Very important. And it's going to repeat here. So you're going to see we have markers down, and we're trying to get these on the markers. And we're going to be making this huge line across the row. So you can see here we have these. Ideally, these probably positioned a little more in the center, but that's okay. And again, everyone's on the left foot. Some range are pre-positioned right, but we're going to want to drop them on the right here. We don't want them to cleave. So they come out. These guys are going to move right. They're going to try to line it up with these the best they can. They made the box perfect. Yep. And now we're going to move down in this corner. And then the decimates are going to come out, and you can see here they're trying to line it up in the lines. We missed one, but again, that's what we missed last time. And again, we're breaking, what is that, 7? So you need a lot of planning here with your CDs. So we broke 7 at once there. And again, they're going to get the box. And then the next is going to be the decimate again. So the decimates come out. All they have to do is break this and maybe clean up that last one that was missed. And then the boss is going to do a sweep, clear anything that's left. And then we're going to be working in that space. You can see he looked down, so there's 2 up. One here, one here. So this would one-shot us on live. But again, like it's bugged, right? So it's like, okay, this was probably one-shotting. You could probably live one, but we're fine. And now we're going to work with this remaining space. I think we make the call here not to break anymore. And just kill the boss before the end of the fight. But we can watch it out, play it out. So you can see the box. And then we're going to move over here into the center. And then we're going to make another box here. So we're putting pings on like where we want the charges to go. But at this point, we're a little disorganized. So it's not looking so good. But it's going to come out here in a second. After Rain of Arrows. So again, we're going to be putting them here, but we're ignoring them. So I think if we wanted to kill them, we'd put them up here in the north, so we make lines. But we're basically shoving everything here and then giving us the middle of the room to work with. You see the decimates hit nothing. We shot them out to the side, and we're going to kill the boss before. So just to kind of look at this old raid plan, you can see here that for heroic, you kind of just drop them in a square. And then you just kill them. But you can see here that the DPS are like nowhere to be found. You don't want to cleave at all. You're always playing on left foot. And then they're going to drop these pulls. And then you just keep moving around the room. So this is basically like the heroic strategy. So you drop 4, charge them, drop 4, charge them, drop 4, charge them. And you can see here, again, heroic is charge, decimate, charge, AoE. Mythic, charge, decimate, which is the hard part, so you have 8 up. Charge, decimate, AoE. So kind of working on that is the key. Tank positioning is absolutely critical. Your tanks need to know what they're doing 100% of the time, including Mythic. You can look at our Mythic VOD and see how we lined them up. Someone who can drop markers is also really important. We are using markers and pings in the testing. And your healing CDs are going to be critical. If you're doing heroic, this is all going to be pretty healable just through normal throughput, especially as a third boss. If you're overhealing heroic, which usually people do, you should be okay. But you might need like a CD on the AoE sweep, like a DR. But on Mythic, you probably need DRs on the charge, decimate, and the AoE. So you need to be really, really careful on your healing comp and what you want to in your personals and how you want to handle that. So start thinking about that. If you're looking to tackle this boss week 1, your healer composition is probably going to matter a lot. Other than that, though, that's the boss. Rest of the guides are coming out. Good luck, and it shouldn't be too bad. So I'll see you in the next video.